You guys, so I wanted to let you know what my favorite archetypes are for each position in college football 26 and future college football video games. So my favorite archetype, or I'll give you my two favorite archetypes for each position. Um, so my favorite quarterback archetype is the dual threat quarterback. He can either be the quarterback or the athlete dual threat, but that's my favorite quarterback archetype is the dual threat. Um, Favorite archetype of the quarterback is the pocket passer. The pocket passer is pretty good as well. He can throw it pretty well. He can still run pretty good too. Like they have good enough speed to take off and run for pocket passer. But dual threat quarterback and the pocket passer quarterback are my two favorite archetypes for quarterback. Archetypes for the running back. So my two favorite archetypes for the running back. Number one, I like the elusive bruiser the best. I mean, he can do a little bit of everything, I feel like. The elusive bruiser. So the elusive bruiser is my number one favorite archetype in the game. Um, Favorite running back archetype in the game is the east-west playmaker, the speedsters. I mean, there's really they could be number one as well. East-west is close between one and two, but east-west playmaker is my second favorite archetype for running back in the game. I don't think it matters that much for fullback what the best archetype is. I mean, I haven't really used fullbacks that much in the game. Probably blocking because it kind of gives you an extra lineman. That's my guess. Pure blocking fullback, but I don't think that one matters as much with the archetype. Archetype for the wide receiver in the game is the physical route runner. I really like the physical route runner the best of go-to archetype for wide receiver. My second favorite archetype of wide receiver is my second favorite archetype of wide receiver. I mean, they're just super fast. You know, how I like to build my teams is through like strength and speed. Speed and strength is like how I like to build my teams in the game. But speedster is my second favorite archetype for wide receiver. Type for the tight end is vertical threat. I feel like vertical threat's pretty good for tight end. I mean, all these kind of depend on what your team's needs are and how your team play style is. But if I had to build a team, the tight end I would use is a vertical threat tight end. And my second favorite tight end is my second favorite tight end archetype in the game. I mean, he's also another guy who can give you good blocking. He would be good in run first offenses, in my opinion. But the pure blocker is my second favorite archetype of tight end. Tackle, the offensive guard, and the center for the whole offensive lineman. My favorite archetype for them is well-rounded, especially for the center. I don't like to use anything else for the center except for well-rounded. Well-rounded is the only archetype I like to use for the center. But for offensive tackle and offensive guard, I also like to use well-rounded, but also agile. Agile is the second best archetype, in my opinion, for offensive tackle and offensive guard. So my go-to for offensive tackle, offensive guard is well-rounded, and then my second best is agile for offensive tackle, offensive guard. I don't like to use agile for center, just well-rounded, if that makes sense. Edge, my two favorite archetypes for the edge is the speed rushers and the power rushers. Power rushers are second, speed rushers are first of my favorite archetypes for the edge rushers, in my opinion. Types for the defensive tackles is the power rusher and the speed rusher, so reversed of the edge. So the power rusher I like the best of the defensive tackles, and then the speed rushers are second for my favorite archetypes in defensive tackle. Archetypes for the linebackers and Mikes, and my favorite for those two, since they're similar, same position, my favorite archetype is the Thumper for them. And then my second favorite is the Signal Play Caller. Those two are my favorite archetypes for the OLB Mikes linebackers. Archetypes for the cornerbacks for the CBs is Field. Field and Bump and Run, in my opinion, are the two best archetypes for the cornerbacks CBs. Favorite archetypes for the safeties, for the free safeties, and all the safeties. My favorite archetype is Hybrid. That's my favorite archetype. Um, and my second favorite archetype is Specialists. Are my second favorite archetype of the safeties in the game. And then for the kicker and punter, it doesn't matter what archetype, in my opinion. You don't really use them a lot. I would say probably power is the best for the punter and the kicker, especially the kicker. But accurate's not bad either. You can't really go wrong with either one for the punter or the kicker. Whatever one you like. But that is my favorite archetypes for all offense and all of defense. Hope you guys enjoyed.